Whispers of the Abyss, A Haunting Odyssey. Episode 1. Whispers in the Shadows, A Nightmare Unveiled. In the stillness of the night, I found myself drawn to an ancient mansion shrouded in darkness. Whispers in the Shadows, A Nightmare Unveiled. Episode 1. The air hung heavy with an unspoken dread as I stepped through the creaking gate, the only sound piercing the silence. The mansion loomed like a spectral giant, its windows staring like hollow eyes. A chill ran down my spine as I pushed open the heavy door, the hinges protesting against their years of disuse. The air inside was thick, suffused with a sinister energy that made my skin crawl. As I explored the dimly lit corridors, the whispers began, soft, unintelligible voices that seemed to slither through the air. I tried to shake off the unease, attributing it to my imagination. But then, a shadow danced at the corner of my eye, fleeting yet unmistakable. Each step echoed like a heartbeat, and the whispers grew louder, weaving a tapestry of forgotten secrets. I stumbled upon a room bathed in an eerie glow. An old gramophone crackled to life, playing a haunting melody that resonated with the very soul of the mansion. Suddenly, a figure emerged from the shadows, a spectral apparition with hollow eyes fixated on me. The air turned frigid as it spoke, its voice a spectral echo from beyond the grave. "You've awakened the nightmare," it whispered, sending shivers down my spine. I fled, but the mansion seemed to morph, trapping me within its malevolent grasp. Doors slammed shut, and the walls seemed to pulse with a malevolent energy. The whispers now formed coherent sentences, revealing a history of unspeakable horrors that had unfolded within these walls. In the bowels of the mansion, a room concealed by darkness beckoned. As I cautiously entered, the whispers reached a crescendo, revealing a gruesome tableau of the past. The walls bore witness to unspeakable acts, and the air reeked of lingering malevolence. Just as I thought I had unraveled the mystery, the mansion unleashed a shocking revelation. A hidden passage led me deeper into the abyss, where the nightmare intensified. Faces twisted in agony stared back at me, their silent screams echoing in the suffocating darkness. The mansion seemed to feed on fear, distorting reality itself. I stumbled upon a forbidden ritual chamber, where the boundary between the living and the dead blurred. The whispers guided me towards a ghastly truth. The mansion was a gateway to a realm where nightmares took tangible form. As I struggled to escape, the mansion resisted, its malevolence manifesting in horrifying ways. The walls bled, and ghastly apparitions clawed at my sanity. With every passing moment, the nightmare tightened its grip, threatening to consume me whole. In the final, harrowing moments, I glimpsed a cryptic message etched on the wall, a foreboding prophecy that hinted at an even darker force awakening. The whispers, now a cacophony of despair, left me on the precipice of a deeper nightmare. The mansion, a malevolent entity of its own, craved more victims. As I emerged, trembling and haunted, I knew the nightmare was far from over. Whispers in the Shadows had unveiled the first layer of horror, and a chilling continuation awaited, lurking in the shadows of the unknown. Episode 2. The Veil of Despair. Haunted by the revelations of the first episode, I couldn't escape the clutches of the mansion's sinister embrace. The air crackled with an unnatural energy as I ventured into the mansion's forgotten corners, each step resonating with a palpable dread. The whispers persisted, leading me to a decaying library filled with ancient tomes. Dust-covered pages revealed a cursed lineage tied to the mansion's malevolence. An ancestor, consumed by dark desires, had struck a pact with a malevolent force, binding generations to an inescapable fate. As I delved deeper, an otherworldly presence toyed with my senses. The walls seemed to close in, and ghostly apparitions materialized, replaying tragic scenes from the past. The mansion's very essence fed on suffering, weaving a tapestry of despair. In a hidden chamber, a cryptic artifact lay dormant, radiating an ominous aura. The whispers urged me to wield its power, promising a chance to break the shackles that bound the mansion and its tormented souls. But with great power came an even greater peril. As I hesitated, torn between salvation and damnation, the mansion retaliated. Shadows morphed into grotesque entities, clawing at my sanity. The air itself pulsated with malevolence, and the once soft whispers transformed into anguished wails. In a moment of desperation, I grasped the artifact, unleashing a surge of energy that tore through the mansion. Yet, the malevolent force fought back, manifesting a nightmarish realm where time and reality twisted in a macabre dance. As the mansion convulsed, I glimpsed a fleeting vision, a gateway to a realm beyond comprehension. The whispers, now a symphony of despair, guided me toward the portal. With trepidation, I crossed the threshold, entering a dimension where nightmares transcended the boundaries of the mortal realm. The second episode ended with me teetering on the precipice of an otherworldly abyss. The mansion, now a conduit to unspeakable horrors, had revealed only a fraction of its malevolent power. The veil of despair had lifted, exposing a realm where the very fabric of reality unraveled, and the whispers hinted at an impending cataclysm. The nightmare continued, with the shadows concealing a deeper, more insidious truth. Episode 3: Echoes of the Abyss. In the unearthly realm beyond the mansion's veil, the air hung heavy with the stench of decay. The ground beneath my feet seemed to writhe with unseen malevolence, and the echoes of distant wails reverberated through the abyss. The whispers, now distorted and chilling, guided me deeper into this eldritch dimension. As I navigated the shadowy landscapes, grotesque figures materialized from the darkness, spectral entities trapped in a perpetual torment. Their anguished cries echoed in my ears, creating a dissonant symphony of despair that threatened to unravel my sanity. The whispers led me to a forsaken citadel, its towering spires piercing the void above. In its heart, a colossal obsidian throne loomed, radiating an oppressive aura. Seated upon it was a spectral figure, adorned with a tattered cloak that seemed to absorb the very essence of the abyss. This enigmatic entity, the Lord of Shadows, spoke in a voice that echoed through the hollow spaces. It revealed the mansion's true nature, a gateway not just to the afterlife, but to a dimension where nightmares took root and festered. The mansion, a conduit, served as a feeding ground for the Lord of Shadows to consume the despair of lost souls. A ghastly revelation unfolded. The mansion's curse was a manifestation of the Lord's insatiable hunger for suffering. My presence, an unwitting intruder, had inadvertently unleashed a cataclysmic event that threatened to spill the horrors of the abyss into the mortal realm. As the Lord of Shadows extended a skeletal hand, an ancient contract etched in ethereal ink materialized. The whispers implored me to make a choice: accept the burden of the curse, becoming a harbinger of the abyss, or defy the Lord and face a fate far worse than death. With a heavy heart, I chose defiance. The mansion quivered as the Lord's wrath erupted, and the abyss recoiled at my resistance. In a blinding surge of darkness, I found myself back with within the mansion's decaying corridors, the whispers now a cacophony of vengeful howls. The twisted reality persisted, and the once familiar rooms contorted into surreal nightmares. Every step became a battle against the malevolent forces that sought to drag me back into the abyss. Shadows danced with a life of their own, and the mansion itself seemed to hunger for retribution. The episode concluded with the mansion's halls pulsating with an otherworldly rage. The Lord of Shadows, thwarted but not defeated, lingered in the shadows, plotting a sinister resurgence. The echoes of the abyss had woven a darker, more complex tapestry of horror, and the whispers hinted at an impending reckoning that would shake the very foundations of reality itself. The nightmare had taken an even more chilling turn, leaving me teetering on the precipice of an unimaginable abyss. Episode 4: Shadows of Reality. Shattered by the revelations of the abyss, the once decaying mansion now bore the scars of my confrontation with the Lord of Shadows. Every creaking floorboard and flickering light seemed to pulse with a residual malevolence, as if the very fabric of reality had been torn asunder. The whispers, now hushed and laden with a sense of foreboding, guided me to a forgotten attic, where an old chest harbored artifacts dating back centuries. Among the relics, a weathered journal detailed the experiences of a family who had once inhabited the mansion. The entries spoke of chilling encounters, each mirroring my own descent into the macabre. As I immersed myself in the journal's accounts, a profound realization struck. The mansion's horror was not confined to the supernatural. It was a convergence of tangible fear and metaphysical dread, blurring the lines between the corporeal and the ethereal. The shadows of reality itself seemed to dance in tandem with the mansion's dark pulse. Haunted by the echoes of past occupants, I stumbled upon a chamber adorned with old photographs. Faces frozen in terror stared back, and the room exuded an aura of palpable despair. The whispers became fragmented voices, recounting the torments of those who had once called the mansion home. In a moment of unsettling clarity, I recognized a face among the photographs, a distant ancestor whose eyes mirrored my own. The chilling realization gripped me. The mansion's curse transcended generations, an insidious legacy woven into the very fabric of my bloodline. As the night unfolded, the boundaries between past and present blurred. I found myself entangled in the memories of those who had faced the mansion's malevolence before me. Their screams reverberated through the corridors, merging with the whispers that now seemed to emanate from the very walls. In a crescendo of horror, the mansion's rooms shifted and contorted, revealing scenes of unimaginable torment. The shadows of reality coalesced into spectral entities, mirroring the faces of those who had suffered within these walls. The air thickened with an oppressive weight, and the once ghostly whispers took on the raw, anguished timbre of the tormented souls. The episode concluded with a chilling revelation. The mansion, a nexus of fear and suffering, had become a living entity, feeding on the collective trauma of those who had crossed its threshold. The shadows of reality had exposed the true horror. The mansion itself was a malevolent force, a sentient entity that thrived on the darkest recesses of the human psyche. As I stood amidst the remnants of past tragedies, the whispers warned of an impending reckoning. The mansion, now fully awakened, hungered for more than the despair of its inhabitants. The true horror lay not just in the supernatural, but in the inescapable reality that the nightmare was far from over. The shadows, both literal and metaphorical, clung to the mansion's foundations, and the next episode promised an even deeper descent into the abyss of terror. Episode 5: The Sinister Symphony. In the aftermath of the revelation about the mansion's sentience, an eerie stillness hung in the air. Every corner of the once grand estate pulsed with an ominous energy, as if the very essence of fear had taken root within its walls. The whispers, now a haunting melody, guided me deeper into the heart of the malevolent entity. As I descended into the mansion's subterranean depths, the architecture twisted into a nightmarish labyrinth. The walls seemed to breathe, and the floors echoed with the dissonant harmony of the sinister symphony. A spectral orchestra, unseen but distinctly present, played a haunting melody that reverberated through the marrow of my bones. In a forgotten ballroom, the ethereal musicians materialized as ghostly apparitions, playing instruments that defied the laws of the living. The maestro, a wraith-like figure, conducted the symphony of despair. Each note resonated with the agony of the souls trapped within the mansion's grasp. The room itself pulsated with an otherworldly energy, distorting reality in a dance of malevolence. Shadows writhed in time with the music, and the air crackled with an arcane power. The sinister symphony seemed to feed on the very essence of fear, orchestrating a symphony of horror that transcended the boundaries of the mortal realm. In a desperate bid to break free, I followed the haunting melody to a hidden chamber where a grand piano stood alone. The whispers urged me to play, promising a chance to disrupt the macabre performance. As my fingers touched the keys, the mansion recoiled, the orchestra faltering in discordant disarray. Yet, the sinister symphony fought back with a vengeance. The very architecture rebelled, morphing into grotesque forms that threatened to ensnare me. Shadows coalesced into nightmarish entities, clawing at my sanity as the haunting melody reached a feverish crescendo. With each discordant note, the mansion's malevolence intensified. The walls bled, and the very ground seemed to convulse with an otherworldly force. The whispers, now urgent and tinged with desperation, guided me towards a revelation. The sinister symphony was not just a manifestation of the mansion's sentience, but a conduit to a realm where nightmares held dominion. As the episode reached its climax, the haunting melody lingered in the air, echoing through the mansion's desolate halls. The sinister symphony had revealed the true extent of the mansion's power, leaving me on the precipice of a terror deeper than any I had faced before. The next episode promised an even more harrowing descent into the abyss, where the boundaries between reality and nightmare blurred into a dissonant, nightmarish crescendo. Episode 6, Descent into the Abyss. Haunted by the echoes of the sinister symphony, I ventured further into the mansion's bowels. The air, thick with malevolence, seemed to press against me like a tangible force. The whispers, now urgent and frenzied, guided me through corridors that twisted and contorted in defiance of natural laws. In a forgotten chamber, the walls bore grotesque murals that depicted scenes of unspeakable horror. The sinister artwork seemed to come alive, writhing and pulsating with an eldritch energy. The whispers, now more insistent than ever, hinted at a convergence of forces that threatened to plunge the mansion and its inhabitants into an abyss of eternal darkness. As I reached the heart of the mansion, a colossal door loomed before me, a gateway to the unknown. The whispers reached a fever pitch, warning of the imminent convergence that would reshape the very fabric of reality. With trepidation, I pushed open the door, stepping into a realm where the line between nightmare and truth blurred into an indistinct haze. The abyss unfolded before me, a swirling vortex of shadows and malevolence. The sinister symphony played in discordant harmony, resonating with the tortured souls that lingered within the void. faces twisted in anguish stared out from the darkness, their silent screams merging with the haunting melody. In the abyss, time lost its meaning, and the laws of reality bent to the whims of an otherworldly force. The whispers guided me through surreal landscapes where grotesque entities manifested from the collective fears of the mansion's victims. Each step became a descent into a deeper layer of horror, where the very essence of my being seemed to unravel. As I navigated the abyss, a presence emerged, the Lord of Shadows, now a spectral colossus that loomed over the void. Its hollow eyes bore into my soul, and the whispers revealed a chilling truth. The convergence was a ritual, a malevolent symphony that aimed to merge the mansion's haunted reality with the abyss, creating a nightmarish plane where the boundary between existence and oblivion ceased to exist. With a growing sense of desperation, I sought a way to disrupt the convergence. The whispers, now a cacophony of voices from the past, guided me to an ancient altar bathed in an ethereal glow. As I intervened, the very fabric of the abyss recoiled, and the sinister symphony faltered. Yet, the Lord of Shadows retaliated with a fury that shook the abyss to its core. The mansion's malevolence intensified, threatening to consume me. In a final act of defiance, I harnessed the artifacts scattered throughout the abyss, channeling their eldritch power to disrupt the convergence. As the abyss convulsed, reality itself seemed to tear asunder. The mansion quivered, and the haunting melody waned into an eerie silence. The Lord of Shadows, thwarted but not vanquished, retreated into the shadows, leaving me standing on the precipice of a fractured reality. The episode concluded with a lingering sense of uncertainty. The whispers, now a mere echo, hinted at a fragile balance that hung in the abyss. The descent into the abyss had unraveled the mansion's deepest secrets, but the nightmare was far from over. The boundaries between reality and nightmare had blurred, and the next episode promised an even more perilous journey into the unknown. Episode 7, Veil of Redemption. The aftermath of the disrupted convergence left the mansion in a state of surreal disarray. Whispers, now echoes of their former intensity, lingered in the air like remnants of a vanquished malevolence. The once foreboding corridors felt eerily calm, but an underlying tension hinted at the fragile nature of the newfound equilibrium. As I explored the mansion, I discovered a hidden chamber untouched by the chaos. In its center lay an ancient tome, its pages filled with cryptic symbols and arcane knowledge. The whispers, now more subdued but laden with purpose, guided me to decipher the ancient script. The revelations were staggering. The mansion's malevolence had been a consequence of a forbidden pact made centuries ago, a pact to harness the power of the abyss for worldly gain. The Lord of Shadows, once a malevolent force, had been a manifestation of the curse, bound to the mansion by the sins of the past. Armed with this newfound understanding, I embarked on a journey to break the curse that shackled both the mansion and my bloodline. The whispers, now allies in a shared pursuit of redemption, guided me through a series of harrowing trials that tested not only my resilience but the very fabric of the mansion's malevolence. In a climactic confrontation with the residual shadows, I confronted the echoes of past horrors, reliving the anguish of those who had fallen victim to the mansion's curse. The whispers melded into a chorus of strength, urging me to face the darkest corners of my own soul. As I stood before the ancient altar, the epicenter of the mansion's malevolence, the whispers guided me in a ritual of redemption. Arcane energies surged, and the very walls seemed to absorb the pain and suffering that had festered within for centuries. The mansion quivered, resisting the exorcism of its malevolent spirit. In a final act of defiance, the Lord of Shadows manifested, its form twisted and contorted with the weight of centuries. The Whispers, now a resolute anthem, joined with my determination to sever the final ties binding the malevolent force to the mansion. The climax of the finale was a symphony of light and shadow, a clash between redemption and malevolence. The mansion trembled as the ritual reached its zenith, and the Lord of Shadows dissipated into a haunting wisp, vanquished but not forgotten. As the echoes of the finale resonated through the once haunted halls, the mansion transformed. The oppressive atmosphere lifted, and the shadows retreated, revealing a newfound tranquility. The Whispers, now a gentle breeze, conveyed a sense of closure as the curse that had plagued the mansion and my bloodline dissipated into the ether. The story concluded with the mansion, now freed from the shackles of malevolence, bathed in an ethereal light. The veil of redemption had lifted, and the once haunted estate stood as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of unspeakable horrors. The Whispers, now a distant echo, hinted at the possibility of peace for both the mansion and the tormented souls within. The nightmare, with its twists and turns, had reached its poignant conclusion, leaving behind a legacy etched in the annals of a haunted history. Subscribe for more horror stories. Please like and share. Your worst nightmare, I'll find you.